Hello and welcome back to Underwhelming Barrage, episode number 24. This is 24, I think. Guys, we're back from Milwaukee. CJ, Tyler, you guys barely made it back, right? The whole snowstorm. We had snowpocalypse in the Northeast, which is,
Northeast.
yeah, kind of why the top eight got a little screwed up for Premiere, which we'll talk about, I'm sure. But we're back from Milwaukee. Ian back after his spectacular top four.
Oh, it's
Can't,
upside.
can't,
Sick of
yeah,
Matt. Sick
Yeah,
of
sick,
just
yeah,
sick
I
of it.
sick
love
tray
this
of
map,
Matt.
dude.
Your background is just cutting it out of.
Oh, there we go. You can kind of see
There
it.
you
We,
go.
we can
Yeah, yeah,
imagine it.
yeah.
We know what it
Yeah.
looks like.
It
So,
looks so good.
so Ian,
Honestly,
yeah,
I
how you
might be
feeling,
repping
man?
over the Galactic finalist
You
map
should.
because I like the art on
You
this one
should.
better.
That's
Yeah.
sick, dude. Plus, you started that event what, like 4-2?
I started 1-1,
Yeah.
and then I think I ended up 4-2, and
Yeah, I
then I
think at
won the
one
last
point you
two.
were 4-2, and then you just
Yeah, yeah.
kind of won out from there, which is
Yeah, I
pretty sick
day
run.
2 I had to, because I lost early in day 1. My breakers were the worst of the X2s on day 2. Well, not starting, but like towards the last couple rounds, which meant there was no way I was ever going to be able to draw in a top 8 because it
Yep.
was so close. So I had to win the last 5 rounds to get in,
Yeah,
and I did.
Crazy.
So
that's
that was
sick.
pretty sweet.
And then
Impressive.
Mickey did. See, I know you were close in a couple of the
Both
events.
events I went 5-1 into 5-3.
Yeah.
It was I petered out at the end of the day, unfortunately. So I feel good about my play for the most part. There's a couple games I wish I could have back. Honestly, the thing I was most upset about was kind of my mentality towards the end. I was like very out of it, ready to go home.
Dude,
Which-
the end of day 2 for like of the event, so like day 1 of Premiere, bro, when you like told me you got knocked out, I thought
Mhm.
you were like half asleep when you told me that. Like you
I
looked
was
so tired, bro.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
pretty out of it for the back half of day 2. So, but otherwise, like very fun event, very good seeing everybody. Pretty happy with my play and ready to run it back next step.
Yeah, man. I had a great time myself. I didn't do quite as well as I would have hoped. I got killed round 8 in the sealed. I started off with a draw round 1 against Didier. I don't think either one of us was, we're playing slow. It was just kind of one of those really tight game ones that took like 30 minutes. So got into like this weird draw bracket. Got to like 4-1-1, and then 5-1-1, and then like having a draw in these long events is so rough because it basically counts as a loss for the
Yeah, day
purposes
1
of
at least.
yeah
Right?
for day 1. And then it's like in 9 rounds I played against 6 Leias, which is like freaking brutal. Like
Yeah.
I was playing Sly, which is fine. Like my Sly deck was probably above average, but not great. My pool overall was just probably average. After the event, Justin and Mike told me I probably just should have played like my average a Leia deck instead of my decent Sly deck. But long story short, like I got killed round 8. Tried to play for top 64, but just missed on that as well. And then Premiere, I wanted to have some fun. I played Ray. Again, started off decent, but couldn't quite get there. I think I got killed in round 6 and Premiere. But long weekend, had a blast though.
Yeah.
CJ, you kind of had a similar spot to Mickey where you started off pretty well both days and then kind of petered out, right?
Yeah, I did hit top 64 in limited, but it stunk because we had talked about it like the night before, like what do you want to open? And I opened exactly what I wanted to open. I had a very, very solid yellow Leia deck with 2 beguiles and a bog down. It's like exactly how I wanted to play the format. And started out really good until I ran into Justin on stream. And that was round 4. And he beat me there. So I went down 3-1. And then I won out until round 8, and then I had 2 win-ins round 8 and 9 and lost them both to very tight game 3s, which like especially the last round, it came down to my final game rounds in time called. I have 3 cards left in deck. I have 1 beguile left in my library that I know is coming. I play the ship where you disclose a blue card to draw, and I'm like, if I draw beguile, I win here. No, it wasn't getting it.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just like, no.
Man.
I thought I set it up so good. I'm like, I looked at my deck. I'm like, I think I have this. Like, I think there's a good shot. This is Beguile. And all I have to do is bounce his tank, and then I can swing for lethal. And I was like, come on, no.
Mm.
Because he played right into it too, because he had that tank that can't die.
Mm.
And then he
Yeah,
had
7/3,
the
yeah.
coronet, and he needed to like both pump the tank and swing with the coronet, and he like pumped the tank first. So like it worked out perfectly where I had an action to beguile, but I didn't
Yeah.
draw it off the ship,
Ugh,
so it didn't even matter.
That's rough. It's like the worst way to lose too. It's like when you play
Yeah.
perfectly and you set it up and it's
Well, I don't know
it's
if I
just
played perfectly, but
right, but you feel like you
Played
played
your
well
outs.
enough to
I
win the
put-
game, and like it just doesn't work out at the end. And it's so
yeah,
so
and I'm
disappointing.
really bummed. My match against Justin on stream, it didn't record game one. Like we were the backup, and so it got 2 and 3. Game one was maybe the best game of SWU me and Justin have ever played. It
Yeah.
was like a wild game where I had beguiled early and saw a Mandalorian in his hand, and so I had suicided my entire board, R7
Yeah.
into R8, so that his board was empty and I only had space units, and I just never played another ground unit. And we just played this like crazy game where I'm like, you can't mando me.
Yep.
And it was wild. It came down to like the last action, no cards in deck for either of us. It was crazy.
And Tyler, you made day 2 unlimited, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. And
What did I do to get a -1 point already?
only
I know
J-
there's,
only
some
Jack
content,
only Jack and I know. That's a me and Jack thing.
but- Okay, I see how it is.
So
I
how
had a
Jack, we can
very
yeah.
interesting day. I had a very okay you learn red deck. So essentially my pool, I had a great top end curve. Like I had Dedra on 6, Worm on 7, into Fulminatrix on 8. And so if I got to those turns, my deck ran great. The issue is that I had no 3 drops or 4 drops. Like none of the good ones didn't have like the damaged raid unit or the ground 4/3. I had the 1 space 4/3 hidden, and that was in my whole deck. And so like if I drew perfectly, the deck would work. I lost round 3 to a Leia Yellow who just like played Rex on 6 both games, and I just got stomped. It wasn't even close. I was like, okay, my deck's it's over. I then go and I lose to a Child who aggressived me in 2 games for like +7 for like.
This is my
exactly
favorite
equal for, like,
story.
Leia
I
Red.
mean, bro.
And I was
All
like,
right, so that kid's
Ugh.
dad is like he's local. They're
He's
local to
goated,
me.
man. Dave, yeah.
And he was like the proudest father I've ever seen. He was like, my son played Tyler from McClunky, and he set up the perfect 8 resource where he claimed early. He Bo-Katans, kills 6 things, puts 6 XP on his
yo,
Bo-Katan,
game where I just got
and
destroyed
then
by Bo-Katan when I was like overwhelmingly
Dude,
about to
listen.
win it.
All right. So
and then aggressive negotiations for 19 damage to kill him. And I'm
his
like,
deck.
that's the coolest
So
thing ever.
I
love
played
that.
him last round, okay? And his Leia deck was one of the best decks I have ever seen in my life. And how he lost twice, I will never know. And
I
it's
stomped him game 2, and then game 3 I took a safer line instead of playing the green, like +2/+2 on 2 different units.
Yeah.
Try to just swing for lethal that turn, and he just had the aggressive for exact lethal, like the exact
Nice.
lethal the turn after in the claim.
that's a crazy card. Something we'll talk about
Yeah.
here when we get
Right, like
into
I wormed to kill some
Premiere.
other unit, but then I was 2-2, and then 1 out. And I won the next 5 rounds. A lot of tough rounds, a lot more easier rounds. But I had a lot of some of my good matches. I met a couple of people that were great talks. My winning in was against a Leia Yellow that just had great like game plans. Like we're like game 1, I got essentially stomped on ground. It wasn't even close. Game 2, my deck kind of rolled them over. And game 3, they went A-wing start and then just kept putting experience on it and just kept doing space spam. And I went one of probably the craziest line thing I've ever done, where I open Gonk, I mulliganed into open Gonk, turn 2 swing Gonk, play the 3/4 untap Gonk, swing Gonk, play the 3/2 hidden. Next turn, swing Gonk, play Kino Loy plus the 2/3, 2-drop ship into playing Crucible on 5, and Kino Loy for the first time in my life did like plus 15 damage over turn 5 and turn 6, and I killed him on 6, and he was like 1 damage away from the space unit killing me, and I
That's
had to
funny.
top deck the 5/5 Sentinel to make sure the Leia didn't kill me. And then obviously, had a nice chat with him. Like, oh, you're really good. He's like only playing like Swu for like 4 months. I'm like, oh, what did you play before this? Like Magic and stuff. I'm like, chit chat. Like, oh, like a newer player kind of thing. Yeah, no, it's like Wyatt Darby, like a Pro Tour.
Oh, you played
Andre
Wyatt?
champion. Yeah, and I
Oh.
looked like I was the biggest noob talking to him because I did not recognize him.
And I was sitting right next to him when he told me.
Pro
so
Tour
funny.
champion Wyatt Darby.
Dude, the amount of like embarrassment I had later that night. 'Cause I'm like, I recognize the name. It's like one of those names that like
Yeah.
in my head, like, oh, I got
When you asked him what format he played, that was the best question.
Like you play Commander,
to like any normal people. Not
That's
Commander. I was asking for like
I know.
So, I thought I had told you guys this. I thought I told Ian this too. I've like Wyatt Darby is pretty local to me, so I've traveled with him to a couple of PQs and stuff. He's quite a sharp gamer. So
yeah,
he's a great gamer.
I believe it.
Sharp game. Yeah, he won a Pro Tour.
Yeah, won a Pro Tour. You have to be a
I think that's okay.
Okay,
yeah,
so
you give him a couple more months, man. I think he went 6-3 and 6-2 or 5-3 in like both the events. Like he just missed day 2 on both of them by like a win and in. So
nice.
He'll be coming for us next.
Well, that's our personal, stories from Milwaukee. Let's talk about the event as a whole and kind of jump into the topics here. So, before we start, I do want to shout out like the entire staff there: Jack, Bree, Corey. There were some others there as well. The photographers were Alex and
Sam, I believe.
Sam, yes, they were incredible all weekend. Like huge props to everyone. They were like always receptive. They were around. It was just very, very well run, overall from my point of view. So
if
like,
you guys haven't gone
it was
yet,
great.
Go on like the FFG socials and see that hype video they made for the
Yeah,
event.
yeah,
It looks absolutely amazing.
yeah. The video. There's tons of pictures up. It's like the first time they've really done this, right?
Yeah. Well, it was nice having like full production.
Yeah.
That they were hosting, just like at Galactics. Obviously, smaller scale because it's not the World Championship, but just having them run everything and that was really nice.
Yeah.
One of the production people, Paige, was there. She like kind of ran everything. If anybody was on feature match, I know Chrono was. They did a great job of like keeping everything on schedule and making sure like we got to every game, and they wanted to make sure that they could show as many games as possible too, right? For like the secondary feature matches, which is, as anybody who's ever watched Swoo stream, when there's just one feature match, they know that there's always like this lull, especially if it's like an aggro matchup. You have like 50 minutes to wait while time goes to plus 20. It was really nice to have the stream be like very consistent with a lot of gameplay.
Yeah, I mean it was great, and plus huge congrats to our teammate Mike. He won again. It's his third time winning a sector or regional this season. Like should be
in like 5 months, dude. Like it's a stupid time for him. It's crazy.
You would think that he's like way ahead in player of the year race, but actually he's not, which we'll talk about later. And then of course congrats to Ian on his top 4 in Premier, and Eekfoil is the winner of Premier, former BN member. So you guys almost had one.
It's true.
But yeah. So CJ, I'll start with you for this. What do you think about the event, like as a whole? How it was run. Do you want to see more of this in the future? What do you think?
Yeah, I'll break it down into a couple categories. On the FFG side, tremendous job. Like Jack, way to be the figurehead for the community within FFG. I think you did a tremendous job. Even Corey did a great job, as you mentioned. I didn't get to meet her, but I know it was Bree, right?
Bree, yeah.
I saw her talking to a lot of people, which is excellent because I know how draining that can be. So that's amazing. As far as on the Star City game side and like running the actual event, boy, was there way too much time in between rounds. Holy crap.
That was rough, yeah.
I don't want to say it was poorly run, but I don't think I've ever been in a tournament of that size where we had to wait almost 45 minutes after every round to get into the next one. Boy, was that draining and really not a good experience.
So just on that, I'll let you keep going, but I think part of the reason why the rounds were taking so long, like a few rounds, is that I heard from someone, maybe one of the judges, that there were 10 DQs at this event. 10. and like it was for really stupid things. Like they were like
Yes.
on people about this shit, like dumb
Weird.
stuff.
Yes.
But
And
anyway,
like,
go ahead.
yeah, and I was gonna like, I don't know, some very strange things. I know you have to have a bunch of red shirt judges who don't have to or are all considered head judges, whatever. And I'm not calling out anyone in particular, but I heard some really strange calls over the weekend, some really strange power trip type situations, and like, not that that's good or bad for anyone. It just makes a bad player experience. And for what was a really good event, I think, like as far as how it started off on the sealed side to where we ended up on the premier side, like it really just wasn't good. I know it was a fun event. I had a good time, but boy, like when you're playing 8 rounds, you're playing 9 rounds, and you're playing 8 rounds, especially like you can't have that much time in between rounds. I don't care what's going on the outside of it.
Yeah, it was a
Um,
long day. Day
it was
one.
just too long, just too long. But there are a lot of positives too. Like I think they did a great job with the prize wall. They did a good job like handing out the prizes. No complaints on that. There wasn't any crazy lines really at any time. Like the vendors that they had there were really great. Like all those things were really excellent. The hall itself was a fun place to be.
Yeah.
And then finally, on the actual player side of things, man, it was amazing to see every one of you who came up and talked to me. I really appreciate it. It was really fun hanging out. Uh, to our teammate Mike for winning. What a legend, right? To win this many in a row and really F all the haters for real. To win that much so consistently in what he's doing across multiple formats. The man's a legend. He works really hard. And so he's getting that because he's working hard. He's working he's a great teammate. He's a great player. And I also want to shout out Justin again, made it real close to making another top 8. He's also in a wild run. His knowledge of limited has really helped the team this season. It's been great. And to everyone else that is on the team, y'all did really good too. Sorry, Ophir, that you didn't win it. I know you were sad, but you're still an amazing player.
You guys know that Woo was there?
Yeah, I heard that Woo was there.
Who's
But
Woo?
yeah, it was great meeting everyone. It was really fun hanging out. I don't think I played against anyone at all throughout the entire event that it wasn't an actual joy to play.
Yeah,
Mhm.
same.
So-
All my matches were really great. And to second what CJ said, like I had so many people. I lost count of people just came up and were like, "Hey man, I love the podcast. Like it's great. Keep it up. Like that feels really good." I am awful with names. Like you can tell me your name and I will just forget it just immediately. So next time I see you, if I don't know your name, don't think that I just don't like you or don't care. You have to tell me like 5 times. So
Sorry. I wanted to call it to our people before I forget, right? Because it's really important. Stevie, I'm really sorry that you had to drop and go home. Because I think you were playing really well, and that really sucks. I know you need the
yeah,
points.
Steve made
You'll
day
get him
2,
next
which
time.
sucks.
That really stinks.
He needs like I think 50 points to qualify for World still, and like I feel like he had a really good chance to get him.
And
Yeah.
our boy Nigel,
Especially at a
right?
regional, because you just have the
Mhm.
top 32 to get 50 points, right? So
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
And our boy Nigel making day 2 for his first major event.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, new
Meeting
teammate
him and his dad was
Nigel.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
Mhm.
So, Mickey, what about you?
So we'll start with the sour and then we'll go to the sweet. The one thing I think that CJ didn't mention was the black pack situation, and I know I am personally pretty happy with like I'm content with how they settled it. It's like
Yeah.
you lose one participation, that's going to get mailed. Everything else is good. But I had several locals come up to me and be like, especially shout out Alec, one of my locals, who was like, if you don't mention this, I'm going to be upset. And so I know that was a sour for some people, just because like part of the experience is being able to go there and the collectible side of it, and like that can be a draw for some people to go. And if you don't, they're not fulfilling on that. And it like this isn't the first time it's happened either. So like if it's a one-time thing, that's one thing. But at this point, you would expect them to have that fixed. Like, last regionals we didn't get our initiative tokens, and like Tata and CJ, you guys didn't get top 8 prizing, like still, right? Or like
I'm good on mine.
No, Tata got
so,
2 of
yeah.
them. I got 0.
Okay. So like this is like a consistent issue that they've been having that you'd think they'd have figured out by now. So that is more on the sour side. On the sweet side, it was like a fun event. Everyone was super nice. The production was great. Shout out to the casters. It was Grumpy. I always forget if it's Door or Charmer, which one it is. Charmer this time. Okay. And then
Tower
Josh, obviously,
and,
in Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, great job. Like, we obviously were at the event, so we didn't get to necessarily experience in real time, but like, huge shout outs to them for putting up that work. It was also very fun watching Tim be at an event and not have to worry about production. Like, he just gets to enjoy the
Yeah,
event.
he was
Shout out
so
to
relaxed like the whole weekend. He was so chill.
yeah. Shout out to Titanic Tim from McClunky. Great guy. And then like all my opponents were awesome. Like I did notice there was a couple like kerfuffles happening in matches, but I didn't have any issues. I had played sweet opponents all day. Especially in the premiere, I had a run where I was like, I played Manuel Daka, I played Duncan Howard, I played Sean from McClunky, Kwai Sean Jin, and then I also played Derek from the Central Spacers. He's a top 8 regionals in Denver. He's a Kansas City guy. So had a lot of fun opponents all weekend, and like even when losing, it felt good. Like obviously you're there to win, but if you can lose and it's not like a zero-sum game where the loser doesn't feel as bad as the winner feels good, that's always a great thing. And oftentimes that has to do with the players and the interaction. So
Yeah,
everyone I played was
sure.
great, and that's usually the case. So yeah, it was a fun event overall.
So, yeah. Ian, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm biased because I did well in the premiere event, even though limited did not go my way. I opened like a terrible Mothma pool that like I was kind of forcing a Mothma because of one drop situations. So I knew that wasn't going to go well. So I went 1-3, dropped, and then I just kind of like helped with teammates who like needed drinks during the middle of the match or middle of the day one or whatever, and just focused on like getting the right mentality for premiere. Worked out for a decent part until I was like looking down and I was 1-1 in Premiere and was like, oh, I don't know how I lost that game. It was like super tight, close game to one of the Buffalo guys, young kid who was really good. He was playing Hantu ECL, which is like a great matchup for me, but I just like mulligan into like terrible hand. Game 3 almost got there, got him a 24, but he got it. So shout out to him. He played awesome. And I was like, all right, back against the wall. My breakers are going to be terrible because every time I beat someone, they're going to be on like life support, right?
Yeah.
End up getting through day one, which was awesome. And then day 2, like I said earlier, I just had to win out basically to get in the top 8. Played some of the best I could, drew really well. If anybody saw my like, I think it was round 12 match that was on stream, I played against Hantu Blue 30, and I think both games I opened Faith and Friends, Han Activation, Cartel Turncoat, which is just like impossible for that deck to beat,
Yeah,
which is pretty sick. But yeah, so then got into top 8, had to play Spanish Alex from McClunky, which he was on Yoda. My like one bad matchup that I think the deck has, somehow just have the best space starts that I can have against him, which is like the only way to win that matchup is you like start Fast Falcon into Hauler or start Hauler into like multiple tiny spaceships and just kind of cruise that to victory. Ended up getting to do that game plan against him, so I was able to take it down. And then I had to face my third mirror match of Han 1 Tarkentown, which going into this tournament, I didn't think I was going to have to do, by the way. Like, obviously, like, people watch our show and, like, know that I like playing Han 1 and like, I did well with 2 PQs with Han 1 Tarkentown. I did not expect there to be 29 Han Tarkentowns. There was only, like, 5 of them on our team.
Yeah, that was
so,
a
like,
lot.
there was 24 people who just decided to play Han 1 Tarkentown, which was, it was cool to see. Like, I love seeing people play deck that I made and, like, have success with it. But I hadn't played the mirror. Like, I hadn't tested it. The only thing theory-wise that I knew was that if your opponent has the initiative and they go Faith and Friends, you need to have a Gorilla Soldier or else you're going to lose the game. Which is really funny because then if you both know that, which by this point, me and Raytan both knew that, we both just hard mulligan for
Gorilla
Gorilla Soldier because if one of us starts with Faith and Friends, the only way to beat it is if you play Gorilla Soldier. So it became this like leveling war, which was really fun. He was great to play against. He ended up getting there. I had a stupid misplay in game 3 where I like don't jam comms before I faith because I was worried about him playing another 1-drop and I wanted to let's call it war with initiative. So I wanted to play my spies first. But I should have just jam com because he was playing clear the field, which is insane in the mirror. He was playing 2 of them in his main deck, which like shout out to him. Like he knew that there was going to be a mirror all over the place. I did not, so well-deserved win. So that it was really fun. Didn't end up getting all the way to the win, but I'll take the top 4. It was such a sweet event. I don't really have anything else to say in regards to like how things were run outside of like the production was great. I felt like FFG was like very like in front, trying to get as much feedback as possible. They were really trying to capture the moment, taking a lot of pictures, hyping stuff
Yeah.
up. They were doing those cool like, oh, like, hey, can you open a pack and like show us what you get kind of stuff. Like I love those little promo vids. They did them for Galactics. I thought they were a hit. So it was really cool seeing that again. The black pack stuff, like I don't really care about that stuff, but I know that that's like a thing that people care about. So in general, they just need to stop like not delivering the stuff that they say they're going to have at these events.
Yeah.
Because it's now a meme in the community that they're going to say that this is prizing or that this thing's going to be there, and none of us expect it to actually be there anymore.
Yeah. Well,
And that's terrible.
it's not
for
as
your player base to feel
bad
that way.
as I thought it was going to be. When I first saw that email, I thought the datas didn't have like hardly any, right?
Same.
No,
But-
yeah, I think they saved it for prizing, and it was just that they
Right.
didn't have it on the wall
Yeah.
for prize wall. Like they had it for like the placement prizing in the main events. They just
Right,
didn't have it for the
correct.
prize walls, which like
Yeah.
if you're like a local who just wanted to go to this event because it's local to you and you just wanted to jam side events or like play Twin Suns and get pretty cards,
Yeah.
you
couldn't
couldn't really do
farm
that.
like the pack. So they
Right.
like everyone who finished top 256 or you know they still got their packs. Like prizing was all there. It's just like Ian was saying, and Mickey too. It's like you only got half of your entry packs, and you could only buy one more off of the
Okay.
prize wall. So
Can I say one thing about the prizing that
Yeah,
I
it's-
forgot to mention?
Yep.
Stop giving regular packs. I don't want any regular
yeah,
packs.
I
I don't want any of it. I
Facts.
really don't. Like booster
Bro,
box.
I had
fine.
6 boxes. I had
They
to
just
bring
kept
home to
handing
me
me
in my
just
room.
packs, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want. We were opening them and like throwing them
Yeah.
on the ground.
like
'cause we just- it's too many.
I understand that so like the casual players might like the packs. Like
Yes.
I get it. But when you
Casual
look,
players weren't
when you
getting
look at
top 64.
exactly, that's what I was going to say. When you look at people who finish in the top 64 and so, like they're not casual players. Like they're like the grinders usually. So like we just don't care about packs. So maybe just put packs on the prize wall, and if people want to grind some, they can. But I totally agree. Like I'm tired of getting like packs and calling it like a prize. But
Yeah.
I don't remember ever
Anyway.
being at a Magic event and like doing anything and getting a pack of
pack,
cards.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Like I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
remember
I
a
know.
time.
I mean,
that
maybe
ever
like
happened.
way back.
way back,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe.
So
Which like I guess with the beginning of the game, I guess they're like falling
something
into
like
that
that,
stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
so Ian was able to send off Han. There was one non-Han deck, either Han
Yeah,
1
that
or
was
Han
crazy.
2 in the top 16. I think it was just the Yoda that made top 8.
It was so funny too because when I beat Spanish Alex, all of the other Hans were like, "He beat the Yoda." 'Cause none of
He
them
did it.
None of them wanted
No
to
one
play
None of the
Yoda.
Hans wanted to play the
You're
Yoda.
the-
Like,
you were
he
their
had
champion.
the best lineup he could possibly have for top 8, so I feel so bad for Dream Crushing him.
Then like the
it's
next
sad,
deck was like
but, like he went on a generational run because he brought this deck. He was testing with our teammates just only like a couple like days to like weeks before the event, and then EXO day 1, which was something that we never expected he was going to do. And he just did it so calmly and surely. It was very funny. Like as
Yeah.
we kept going on the day, watching him do it. So he's totally okay with the top 8. Of course, he probably feels it deep better. We're all proud of him for what he was able to do.
Right.
Oh yeah, he played
So,
awesome. Dude.
all right, Tyler, your quick thoughts on Milwaukee.
Quick thoughts.
Quick thoughts. Yeah.
I don't want quick thoughts. I got a
Good.
a little devil's advocate, and I'll say a lot more of the criticism here because everyone was a lot nice. I shared the same amount of nice things that everyone said. I liked how a lot of stuff was run. I liked how things. I personally like that you could only buy one black pack from the prize wall. I really don't think that you should just go and spam 1,000 prize tickets and buy 1,000 of them. I think one black pack is enough, and the rest you get from playing the main event. I feel like that is the kind of one of the main prizes for playing main event. Otherwise, if it's just super, undesirable like the silver packs we got at sectors, the value kind of just flops. I don't really think that everyone needs to get them. If you want to get them, trade or buy them. It's just, I think there has to be something. And then my experience was all unlimited. So I get to sit and talk about limited. The other thing outside of that was I think it's crazy that FFG did such a great job, or SCG did such a great job with the venue, the setup. Everything was run nice. The production was great. Why the hell was the stream on some unaffiliated Riftbound channel? I understand the situation in that FFG's, they're apparently special contract. You just can't stream on those channels besides Galactics. That's what the explanation was. SCG didn't stream on theirs because they were streaming Magic that weekend. Makes sense. But we had all three of the big streamers in the room. You probably could have asked either Sea Raptor, McClunky, or Late Night for, to stream on their things. You could have done or just made a new SCG channel or something. But the quick and easy way was one of the productions take their personal Riftbound channel and stream on there. I feel crazy. It definitely is a part of FFG, but it's like the 2 steps ahead, 1 step back that we always keep going. They spent money to put this production on, and it looked great. It ran great. It's just so funny that it was just not on anything Story related.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the whole situation was there. I had no idea. I didn't watch hardly any of the stream except when I was at the airport. I thought it was fine from like a production level, but the actual channel, I don't know.
One thing being on stream, those gaming genic tokens are they're the worst tokens I've ever seen. People buy those. They're not double-sided. It was like the most I felt like I was playing with the paper ones you get for free.
So
I feel like I would play
they
way
do
worse.
make double-sided ones, but I
They
guess
just didn't want to put those on stream.
I guess maybe they didn't want to use.
It was
use
unbelievable.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I
But
kept
yeah,
flipping them over and they were blank, and I'm like,
Yeah.
So okay.
So the whole, this is a good segue. We talked about Mike winning, and
One second. Before we go on to the next topic, I just want to get over the remaining of how the limited was run.
Yeah, good.
Because the 9 round of Swiss,
the format is
is
completely trash.
crazy.
It's so bad.
The 9 rounds to play a sealed deck and go 7-2 is a miraculous achievement for any person. And then to cut to like 45 players, which then I got put into a 10-person draft. I had to draft with 9 other people, and there was another pot of 9 behind me. That is ridiculous. That we couldn't just all right, let's just cut to top 64, and if someone wants to drop that, that the Friday of, then they drop and you get the next seed in. You should have 64 players to draft, the 8 pods or whatever it needs to draft, 8 player thing, and then cut to the top 8.
I don't think anyone should ever be bumped up. I do agree cutting to a top 64 makes the most sense to me, because then you have even pods.
If they drop out, they should not just get their prizes. They should just go play Premier. You should have 64 players to draft.
But okay, so
have less.
man, I could
the
talk.
Top 8.
I could talk forever about this, and I don't want to. But I never believe ever that anyone should ever be bumped up into whatever the cut is. Top 64.
I think as long as
8,
it happens before pairings, it should be bumped up.
Just do it 8 rounds, cut the 64.
Yeah,
would have been just fine. I would have played.
Or 9 rounds top 64. I
know that there
understand they
was
want 12 rounds, so
the idea
whatever.
that we had was 6 rounds Swiss, of sealed, and then 2 drafts day 2. So you play then 6 rounds of draft.
Yeah.
And the best part about that part of the format where it's 6-6-3, which probably only happens at regionals. You can't do this when it's a 2-day event, which is fine. But you get to reward the players who go undefeated in the sealed pool by allowing them
too. That would have been sick.
Right. So if you go 6-0 and sealed, then you have 2 drafts where all you really need to do is 2-1, both of them. Yeah. Which is if you're a good player, that's very doable, right? Yeah. Just saying, okay, I just need to win 2 of my 3. That's super fine. And I think that's totally a way that it would make it way better.
I think the other format you could do, and it would be a little bit different because some people wouldn't play as many rounds as others, is you just you're cutting to top 64. Once you get to 7 wins, or however many wins the number is, you stop playing day 1 because you don't want to punish people for going 9-0 for the second part of this, which is once you get to top 64, you just get 8 random pods, and the winner of each of those pods makes top 8. And that would feel bad if a player went 9-0 and then they lose 1 game and then 11-1 and they miss top 8. But yeah.
Tyler, how many? What do you need to go in an arena direct with a sealed? Is it just 7 wins? It's like 7. You can go 7-2.
7-1 in the first round, I think. But
Is it 7-1 or 7-2?
I haven't done the arena decks. I don't know
know.
100%, but like
Yeah, I don't know. He's talking about Magic, but
think it's
I think you get one loss, and then the second
yeah,
loss.
I think it's
two out.
one loss.
that sounds right. But like the whole bumping up thing, that just kind of reminded me about how people were, all complaining about how the top 8 only had 6 people because there were 2 drops, and then someone else dropped after the quarterfinals. It's like, they felt like people should have been bumped up into the top 8 to
I don't
replace
think
it.
the
I
top
think the
eight should have
top
been bumped
the
up.
top 4 it would be impossible because
Yeah.
it's like already things have happened and the tournament has started. But I think that if going into that of like that day 3 that these people were dropping, there's no reason to not just tell the people who were 9th and 10th, hey, come back tomorrow because we need people to fill out the draft box.
Yeah, but like then what do you
can't
do?
bump
Like
their
do
prizes.
do they get
Well,
double
I
prizes?
think
Like
I think that 7 and 8 just don't get their top 8 prizes at that point.
nah, but they earn those though, so they should
They
get
did
them.
earn those.
They should have to show up to collect them.
But
then.
there's like
I
a
don't know.
natural disaster. Like you can't.
Well, I
like,
guess
help
that is
that.
It's very
Like,
unfortunate. The top.
I
eight
guess
in
if
that
it's a natural
situation-
disaster, then
It's
like,
just a
obviously
slippery
we can't help
slope,
it,
right?
but
And you don't
yeah.
want to set like a precedent to where like people get bumped up, because then like what if I make top 8 and my teammate is playing for player of the year and he's 9th? Oops, I'm sick. Like bump my teammate up. Like
Yeah, I
it's
guess that's
just
true.
like you can't do things like that. So anyway, if people want to comment in the comment section to keep talking about it, I'm happy to talk about it. I just don't want to talk for 20 minutes about it. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
we'll go into the
We'll talk about limited eventually.
the leaderboard part. So like a month ago, maybe it was like 3 or 4 episodes ago, so maybe like a few months, we mentioned the leaderboard. We talked about some issues with it. People kind of pounded us in comments like, hey, you guys are always really good at finding problems but never really offering solutions. And like I kind of took that personally, right? Because I feel like we try to like really cover everything. So what I wanted to do here is try to offer some solutions to the leaderboard. I guess we'll call it issue. So for people who don't know, there's no cap on how many points you can earn from PQs, right? So I'm not calling this player out by any means at all. I have no issues with them, et cetera, et cetera. So don't come at me. There's a player in Italy, Fame, who is number 2 on the leader. Well, will be number 2 on the leaderboard after this past weekend's points are put in. That has won 7 PQs out of the 11 that he's played in. 10 of the 11 have had 30 players or less. 2 of them, or maybe even 4 of them, I think it was, had fewer than 19 players. That is ridiculous. And, his saving grace, he is obviously a very good player. He won the Paris sector. So, I mean, props. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But to be number 2 on the leaderboard by not even that many points is crazy to me. To win 7 PQs that have like a combined attendance of one freaking Northeast, PQ here, is crazy. Whereas Mike Jim has won 2 sectors, a PQ, a regional, and is in first place by like 100 points. Like that's nuts. And now for this next set, freaking Italy has 10 PQs. And this guy is just going to go and win like 6 of them, right? It's like, that's nuts to me. So we proposed at some point that there maybe should be a cap or whatever. So my idea, which I'll start with and we'll kind of go around, is that I feel like what they should do is they should just take your best result, like your top X best results. We'll say 5, right? So throughout a season, you get your 5 best PQ results. So if you win 5 PQs, you get 500 total points on the leaderboard, right? Very, very easy to track. It's all right there in Melee, no problem. If you're top 5, but say you play in 100 PQs and you top 8 all, 100 of them, you wouldn't get 15 points. You would get 15 times 5, right? Like, which is, I feel like, the way it should be. Then you can't just farm small PQs and crush everyone on the leaderboard. I'm not saying this guy isn't the best player in the world, and maybe he is, but like, it shouldn't be proven by PQs. That's my 2 cents. So let's start with Ian for this. What do you think?
Oh, wrong button. I was trying to unmute. Yeah. So my theory on this is that you should just have PQs be separate from the leaderboard stuff. Still be able to queue through Galactics through the PQ system, similar to what we did in season 0, where if you win a PQ, you automatically get an invite to Galactics. If the winner of the PQ already is qualified, whether through winning a PQ or through the leaderboards from major tournaments, that person then goes and it passes down to the next person until it hits the first person who has not yet qualified, and then that person then automatically qualifies to Galactics, right? So you still have that system going on. Local people go to their local PQs to win those cool promos and to play competitive level events and be able to, win their chance at going to the Galactic Championship. And then for the people who are the real tryhards of the game, who want to go and travel the world to play this game, that is where the leaderboard comes into play. And that is the Player of the Year leaderboard. It is just ranking how well you do at every sector and regional that you go to. There is no cap on it. We figure out a number system that makes sense where, top 64 through top 1 person who the champion of that event. There's a point distribution that makes sense. You put that for the different types of events, sector, regional, probably have to include Galactics with it as well. And then, you have that be the way that you determine who the Player of the Year is, which culminates at the Galactic Championship. And I think that's how you solve it. You allow people to qualify for Galactics through the PQs. You just don't actually have the PQs provide leaderboard points for the Player of the Year. Because as much as I like winning 7 PQs, which I have, like, I don't think that I'm the greatest player in the world because I won 7 PQs, right? Like, clearly I'm not. Which it shows on the leaderboard, for me at least, that I haven't, because I haven't been doing super well until recently at the major tournaments, right? So, like, there's no way that if I go and play 5 more PQs next set and I win all 5, I would be tied with Mike. That doesn't really make sense to me. So, like, I think we just need to separate them. Like, it was a good idea to have that all combined for the season 1, where, like, they're trying to have this system. They want to have a cool Player of the Year thing. They want to give flights to people, like, to Galactics, who are like the upper echelon of players. It should be reserved for those players that are going to these major events. The fact that you can be in the top 32 and never leave a 3-hour radius from your house because you live that many, like, near that many PQs, and that's all you did is grind all those PQs, and you could be top 32 in the world and get a flight and hotel for Galactics. To me, that's a little crazy. You should have to have made an appearance at a sector or a regional. Like,
yeah, I totally know, where you're coming from. I don't agree with all of that, but those are some very good points that I feel like are definitely pretty good feedback. Tyler, what about you?
Pass me. I want to go at the end.
We're allowed to pass?
Yeah, apparently he always uses
Claim?
this pass action.
Because I prepared a separate idea that's going to go.
Wait,
better.
quick, someone claim.
Yeah,
Someone
what
claim.
if he claims? All right,
I claim.
CJ, go ahead. What about your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm going to use the rule 7B subsection D, I think, or subsection 17.
For doing it.
And I think it allows a player who passes
God.
loses 10 points. So
Great,
which
move
is fine. You
forward.
can like bury those 10
Play
points.
the video.
No reverse, bro.
No, I'll save some time. I agree with Ian pretty much 100%. That's I think it's a pretty easy solution. I did see some crazy comments of like, but they're trying to win their ticket. They're trying to win their ticket in the hotel. They don't deserve that. No offense to them. They don't. If that prize the prize isn't given out to someone who plays the most PQs. The prize is meant to go to the top 32 or whatever it is players in the world.
And hey, maybe that person who won 10 local PQs is one of the best players in the world, but you should
Sure.
have to prove it by going
Right.
to these major events.
Yeah,
right?
like
That's the thing.
exactly. Like that is the thing.
Yeah, like
100%.
and this whole conversation isn't meant to like take away anyone's achievements.
No.
Like that it's great that
Winning
someone can win that
great.
many, PQs. It's
Yeah.
just like the prize for top 32 is pretty significant, right? Like we're talking like
Well,
like
I
a
think
$1,000 hotel room and a $500 flight.
Ian said it perfect that like one of these is an invite to Worlds and the other is the leaderboard for
Yeah.
best player in the world. Those are two
Yeah.
way separate things.
Right.
Okay. They
That's
just
the
they
perfect
are.
way of putting it. Yeah. Mickey, what are your thoughts on this?
All right, I'm gonna come out swinging a little bit because I also disagree with some of this. So this is, I think, a less unique situation than it might initially appear because I'm someone who can't necessarily travel all the time, but I still want to be going, like, have incentive to go to these events and like, have something worthwhile at stake. So I think PQ should still be worth points. I agree with Tata that you shouldn't be able to get unlimited points from them. I think the number of like top X results makes a lot of sense, whether that be like 5 or 7 or whatever the number is. It should be enough to where I feel like you top 8 that many times you get into Worlds. So I think for this it would be 7, which is really a whole separate issue, which I think honestly more so than a points issue, which there is a points distribution issue. I think this is a PQ allocation issue, and this is like where the PQs are situated, because like winning a PQ at certain locations it feels worth 100 points. Like if you win one of those Northeast PQs, you probably went through some ringers and like you've put a little statement down that like, no, I'm in this class of player. Obviously it takes a little bit of luck to do that, but if you do that multiple times, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas like you said, Italy is getting 10 PQs this set, and every single time they're getting 30 or less players, or like most of the time they're getting 30 or less players. That's more on an allocation of the event issue than it is like a points issue. Because like
only to a degree, right, Mickey? Because like, do you think that winning a showdown should get you points?
Well, that's the thing, is that the PQs are listed as like it's their entry level competitive event,
Yeah, it's
but it is a
competitive play. I
competitive
get that.
event.
But what I'm
So-
saying is, do you think that a showdown should also award points to the leaderboard?
That's probably not, because it is a casual, like the way they delineate it is as a casual event.
So is it just because of that, or is it also like the size of the event you would expect to be smaller?
Like, I mean, there's some showdowns that are bigger than PQs, right? So
That's
I think
that's the problem that I have, is that like if you can go and win a PQ that's the same size as a local showdown to me.
Again, though, I think
the only difference is that we say one is competitive and one is not. They're both happening at a local game store. They both have cool promos that people want to win. And in fact, this set, I think that the Queen Amidala showdown promos were more sought after than the Thrawn PQ promos. So if you're a casual player and you have these two options to go to, why would you go to the sweaty PQ when you could go to more chill showdown and win cooler promo?
Well,
right?
I think that's still a location issue, because like, sure, you want to go to a more casual event, which takes away from the PQ sizing and like the competitive sizing, but then those locations where that happens should only get like 1 PQ a set, or maybe only 1 PQ per season, because you want to give people in those areas opportunities to qualify for Worlds.
Sure.
But you don't want to get like top 32 on the leaderboard.
But you could also just incentivize
PQs
them in
too.
other ways, right? Like you could just make the prizing for PQs better, because only one person is getting that galactic invite. So when you do it that way, you just say, okay, 1 through 8, maybe even top 16, you're getting a bunch of swag. Like you're getting like a plastic base token. Like you're getting like metal initiative tokens. Like just up what you're getting at each of these stages and make the PQs want to be played, because the prizes that are there are awesome, and just have the invite to Galactics be like the tip of the iceberg, like the icing on the cake or whatever have you. Like just have that be the extra little flair. And they're still competitive level events that people will play and take seriously, because the prizing is either they want it because it's cool, or they think that they can like sell it on the secondary market. Right.
I think the main point I want to make is that this is more than just like a points issue of like PQ should be worth X points, or you only get X PQs per your point. Like there is more logistical issues involved, I think, rather than just the points that you can get at PQs.
But I don't think it's possible to ever equate like a 1-day event to a multi-day event. It like you can't ever say like, oh well, clearly it's worth 2.5 sector.
Yeah,
A
I think the
sector is worth
scaling is
2.5
weird too.
PQs. Like
I agree.
there's no perfect way to do this because you don't know how long that day 1 event is going to be, and you don't know how many people are going to be at these day 2 events.
Yeah.
But if you just say, okay, every multi-day event is where we're going to have the leaderboard points, it is way easier to distribute points that way, because then all you have to do is say, every single one of these events, you will get points based on the number of players that go to these events, right? If you have a 500 player sector, you get this many points. If you have a 300 player sector, you get this many points.
Yeah.
And then no one can complain about how competitive it was. It was a multi-day event,
Well,
right?
I think
Like
we
they're
can
all worth
all
the same.
all agree that there needs to be some changes.
Yeah.
What they do, I don't know, but we'll see what it looks like for the next season.
Sorry,
Tyler,
Mickey, I wasn't yelling at you. I was just getting excited.
stop yelling at Mickey, guys. Tyler, you
That
got
is fine. I have
three minutes to
Okay.
lay your point. Go.
So my take comes from my teammate Red Dragon 252. The Player of the Year event should be a more of a usage of like showcasing the actual players in the community and Player of the Year. It does not go on top of any of the discussions we've gone here. It's just I agree that one, points should change and points should matter, but also we can use these points and use this galactic qualification for better things. And my teammate's take was you should gain a small amount of points just for invigorating and going to your locals, whether it's just weekly plays, whether it's showdowns. And this is not like these points don't need to go onto a leaderboard. They don't need to act for like the Player of the Year, but for it's such a free incentive to get people to just go to their local store, which of course I think should really have the local stores doing a lot more to try to get players in. But it's like the main concern I've heard so many people at these stores are dying. If you got like a point every time you went to a weekly just to go play like Premier or something, and over the course of a year you got like 45 points, so many players would be playing at their world just to get the 45 points or whatever that'll help them to get to like World's qualification. Like it seems like we've already opened up how Galactics is working and that we're okay with having more invites into day 2 because of how more stricter we're making the last chance qualifier. That I feel like just using this as an opportunity to incentivize the bottom part of the game helps the top part, in the end. Now, I'm not looking for like these points to be like, oh, you can get 1,000 points to go and become Player of the Year. No, just some things like, which of you guys would not go to a local event, every week, which you may already do. I don't, just unfortunately because the time we tape this is during my local event. I'd probably be arguing for us to move the taping because I'd be wanting those points. I'm unfortunately not, the player that's won 1,000 events. I'm the guy that's top cutted a lot of events. And in season 1, I had like 130, points before I won my first PQ that even got me my qualification. Like it was a struggle to try to just get my qualification across the line. And there's a lot of players that are probably the same way. It doesn't need to be the greatest players in the world that are, get their wins and stuff that gets in, insta qualification. I think we've shown that you can have more in. I think you can use this to actually use it as a reward.
I will say though, the one thing that's different than what I was presenting than what last season was is that if I got my qualification through leaderboard points, then that would also count. Like I could have played no PQs, just went to a sector, top 8 of the sector, then go to a PQ, and I can never win that invite at that PQ, right? Or I went to 3 sectors, I top 32'd all of them, or whatever, right? And I got my qualification that way. And like as long as you make like multiple top 64, top 32s equal a qualification over the course of the season, then there's going to be a lot of people who go to these PQs who are already going to be qualified, and like that's the way you fix it, right? You don't have to be like, oh, I have to spike this 7-round Northeast hardcore PQ, right?
Yeah.
This is
Well,
the thing.
yeah.
This has
So
nothing to do with my idea because my idea is just for like the bottom side.
Gotcha.
It doesn't afflict or change anything that we discussed. I think there should be, my personal thing. I do think there should be a cap for PQ winnings. How the best case, I don't know.
Tyler, one counter to that, Flesh and Blood actually did a very similar system, and legitimately people were just gaming it and like firing off 30 events a night at their local just to get.
Yeah, the problem is you can
There
have a
are a
friend who
lot-
owns the store and they
there
just
are a
like
lot of
fire,
systems
right?
that, that is the biggest.
And they were playing the rounds, but
Yeah,
I do agree with you, but like you
there's
can do
things you can
sit-up
do.
systems where it's like once a week you can gain a point for this.
Yeah,
If we can set
you
up
can get
systems where you
points
can
at
max cap 3,
X4
Well, it
once a
shouldn't.
week.
The easier way to do it is you don't even have it look at like, oh, every event you go to is a point. It just looks at, hey, did you play a melee event that was at a local level? Did you do that like some amount of times or whatever? You get like extra credit, and now
yeah,
you're really
exactly.
close to invite becomes an invite, right?
Something
Yeah.
they
The
just
fact that
install dice and
the fact
add
that I have a teammate that has 95 points right
Yeah,
now
this
is
also
the
solves
most
the 95-point issue.
insane thing ever, that there's a possibility that you could have 95 points.
Yeah, we have.
right.
Yeah,
How do you
CJ
get
has
5 points?
75. Like, yeah, I mean, I understand.
You literally
what you're
cannot
saying.
get more or less than 15 points through the current
Yeah.
qualification system.
So like, why are people sitting here with like 90 or 95 points?
Right, it just doesn't make any sense. So like, yeah, you should just get that extra credit boost to make you qualified.
So,
I agree with that. That's
yeah.
fine.
So there's some feedback, like I wanted to at least give them feedback. I know that like Jack and people, like at least listen. So comment below if you have other thoughts, but we just wanted to provide our own feedback. So let's jump into Lawless Time. We got the full spoiler dropped. I think the day that we recorded last time was when the full spoiler dropped, so we didn't really get too many chances.
It was a couple days before.
Yeah. So whole set's out now. So we'll spend about 10 minutes here and then talk about the set 7 majors for the last 10 minutes, about 15-20 minutes left. CJ, start with you for this, just real quick with Lawless Time. What do you think, about the set as a whole? Do you think it's cool? What are some of your favorite cards or decks?
Yeah, I like the set so far. I do think it's a lot of fun. As far as like favorite decks right now, I'm playing a lot of Jin. I think she's really great. It's interesting because there's actually, at least in my initial testing, there's a lot of really powerful cards that I've yet to find the best home for, especially the multicolored stuff, right? Like think about the new Falcon, especially like green yellow, I think is the biggest one for me right now.
Like, where
It's
does
like
Max Rebo go?
right, where does Max Rebo go? Where does Jin Unit go?
Yeah.
Right, because like she's a really powerful. It's a battlefield marine that also has utility later in the match, like really good. And like Millennium Falcon, the new one, where does that go? So there's all these like cards where I'm just not 100% sure the best shell for them yet, and I'm trying to figure it out. One thing I will say, and I really hope I'm not right about this, but I really feel like I might be. Boy, like not hero, villain aggro still stinks really bad, and that feels terrible. And so it's like, can we please get some cards
Like
to help them
part
out?
of the problem with that is that they keep printing 4-cost 5 defense sentinels that like all the villain stuff has no good answers for.
Well, it's not, yeah, and exactly. And then like our 4-drop is like 000, which is cool, but it doesn't do 5 damage to a unit.
Yeah.
It's like, just give it like the rage ability or something off that attack, not just to do the damage. Like give us the way to get through that. You're so right, John.
Yeah.
It's like they keep printing like these kind of cool cards, but they're just a little bit not enough to get over that.
Yeah, it's hard to do 30 or 33 damage with villain aggro. Like they're close.
Yeah.
Like they're really
They're
close.
close.
Like I don't think it's Sebulba. Like he is much worse than we thought he might be. But it's like there might be like, are we calling Boba Data Vault villain aggro or Boba Yellow? I mean, that's probably like their best bet right now, right? So I mean, I don't.
Yeah, and I guess
know.
that would be. I guess you could. It's definitely got to be mid range.
Yeah,
you
more
deploy on
burn
6.
than
You
aggro.
deploy on
Exactly.
6. Like no matter what, you're
Yeah.
not aggro. But
Mickey, what about you?
Yeah, so I'm excited for Lawless Time. I think the cards in the set are really fun, and like the multicolor aspect really opens up deck building and lets you explore more. Almost as much, if not more so, I'm excited to see sets 1 through 3 go. As much as I love those sets, we've
See
seen
ya,
enough of
Han.
Han.
Yeah.
Han has been around for 2 years. Han was always like lurking in the shadows. Boba took the bullet first, and then DJ took the bullet, and then Force Throw took the bullet, and Han somehow survived through all of it. So I'm very excited to see those goes. I'm also excited to see our best friends come back in Boba and DJ, even TDR. I'll play against it for a little bit at least. I'll stomach it. So having 2 new formats to explore is really, really exciting. Past that, I think more so than decks right now, I'm just looking to for cards that I can break. So I think the most obvious one is aggressive negotiations. You know, we got Jin as a leader that works so naturally with it. We got a bunch of other card draw effects like Chiao Fein. That card is insane with aggressive negotiations. It like
That's
just
my favorite card
turbocharges
of the
it.
whole set.
Yeah.
I love 'em.
But there's also some other cards I'm looking at. Obviously, I'm biased towards Yellow Hero. So, like Faith in Your Friends from previous sets, I'm still trying to break because we saw how powerful that could be with Han, as well as the new Rose Tico unit. I think that card can be busted. And so, just trying to find shells, like CJ was saying, having like these super powerful cards that don't quite have a home yet, just experimenting with a bunch of different things, seeing what the best home for these cards are.
Yeah, my favorite card has been Chiofane, but like my second favorite card that I have just discovered recently is the big yellow ship.
Liberty,
yes.
that
Bro,
That
Yeah,
card
so good.
is
So good.
insane.
And
Like,
the amount of times my opponents forget that it can exhaust anything and
Yeah.
it just bounces for or less.
yeah, like it takes shields off things. It takes experience. Like you can bounce, just random.
I had a match
upgrades
where
on
an
'em.
opponent played the new Cad Bane unit
Mhm.
and grew it to like a 17/17 with
no.
7 damage on it. I just liberty and nuked it out of
it's
orbit.
crazy.
It was great.
But it's been insane. Like the fact that it has Sentinel, I think really like pushes it. It's basically what
Yes.
like Hero has always wanted.
Yes.
In a ship. It's got Sentinel. It does something when it comes down. Like it's got 9 power.
Feels
it's
like
just-
a light version of Avenger plus Devastator from set 1. Like
Yeah,
it's
but
not
it's-
exactly that, but it very
it's
much
been
feels like
very so Lando has been one of my favorite decks. Like, and I know like a lot of people are doing like the whole flip, play a 9-drop,
Nah, just
on
play
your
an
flip
8.
turn.
All you need
Yeah,
is 8.
like
Well, you
every
get to
game.
activate before you flip
Exactly.
it. You don't have to have any
and
credits
that's why
before that
he's so
turn.
good, because you can
Yeah.
activate on his flip turn, then flip, make 8, and then play like a Mando unit or like a Liberty, and it's busted. Where
Yeah.
you can
Yep.
use the early credit to play like a turn 3
early
blue
four
leader or a turn 3 Lando, Sentinel.
Mhm.
And it's like it's crazy. Like that deck's
I agree.
pretty wild. Ian, what your
Yeah,
thoughts on this?
so I got a hot take. I don't think it's actually a hot take. I think it's actually a relatively cold take. I think aggressive negotiations will be banned within the year.
I agree.
I think that card is
Yep.
so messed
We,
up.
we were saying that when it got when we were
Yeah,
I
initially
know.
playing with it.
My
But
watch
now
list is
everything
that card and
sucks,
Chewy.
right?
Yeah.
So like
the-
everything sucks at this point now. So like aggressive negotiations power level compared to the rest of stuff you could do it's so desperate that like you just should play aggressive negotiations in any deck. It doesn't matter if it's off
Yeah,
aspect.
that's
you
what
can
I was
just
saying.
play 5 for it and it's
Yep.
fine. That
It
card
doesn't
needs to get
matter
banned
how much it
eventually.
costs
No,
if they're dead.
It's actually
Going
better at 5 because your opponent is not always doing the math for it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
actually
surprise
better at
aggressive is
5.
messed up,
And-
man.
Yeah.
That's why I think Max Rebo will see 0 play for quite a while
'Cause
until
it fuels
someone
your
figures it
opponent's
out. Is
aggressives.
because I mean, not unless
What if
you
it fuels
play
your
it in your
own?
deck.
Yeah, what if
right,
you
I'm
draw
saying,
yours first? Ian's got a
like,
good point.
if you
Just
play
draw
Max,
But you don't
you
even
have
need
to
to draw
splash it.
yours.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, so what I'm saying here though is that there is a very large power discrepancy between aggressive and everything else that I think that card will be banned in a year.
But-
Right now, I plan
and
on only
Chewbacca.
playing decks that have aggressive. Chewbacca's fine. There's counterplay. The great thing is if you are playing aggressive in aspect, you have all the removal for upgrades you can ever want. So
But what if you played Chewy and aggressive?
well,
What
then
if
you're
Chewy's getting aggressive?
playing with fire, baby.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely a good strategy. Yeah, I don't know. To me, the format is Wild West right now. Like,
Yeah.
you can go on and see wild stuff. The swoop racers are really high on Tobias Beckett. Godspeed to them. I will leave that for them. That is.
I mean, that's just like another red deck with the pump, right? Like it's all
Yeah.
it is. There's so many
It's all freaking
versions of
aggressive.
that deck.
Well,
It's just like another like aggressive
I love
deck.
that you said the Wild West though, Ian, because like one thing we didn't mention is rotation has messed this all up. Because normally
Yeah.
it's always the Wild West, but then like
right.
I'm doing my test and no fears like, okay, well now let's play it into Quinlan. And then it's like,
Right,
okay,
right.
sweet.
All right,
Okay, there
Now
goes my
let's
deck.
see if it can ever win
Yeah.
a game against
Yeah.
Sabine.
Here's my
And
deck.
it's
Now
so-
will Sabine. Chrono, play Sabine against
Yeah.
me. Okay, that deck's not good. Great. Now we're
And
no fun. Fun's over.
Yeah, we don't even know what deck that is.
That's
anymore.
exactly.
That is
We
the
have no
check on
idea.
the format, right?
Yeah.
Like you have
Well-
to play against everything.
So
Right.
so now for like other teams and stuff, testing out there, like I feel like you want to test everything into Gen. That's going to be like the day one
Yeah,
deck
that's
that
probably a good idea.
Yeah, it's like if you can beat Jen, you can probably keep testing the deck. If not, you probably shouldn't bring it to a tournament on the first month.
Yeah.
So, Tyler, what are your thoughts on the set?
I think that this set is a fucking home run in design. I think the fact that we're sitting here and be like, there's these cool cards, and I'm just trying to find the home for them. It's the perfect set to have right after rotation, and it's their best chance to hit the ground running. Like we've been flying in the skies for Swoop for a while with all the past 6 sets, and now we're really trying to see. All right, set 7 is gonna hit. Set 8, let's hope it's gonna like just build right off of this and just keep it going. And I agree with everyone else that like I have no idea what I'm going to play. I have no idea what I'm going to play against. I have always been the kind of player it's like, all right, I'm going to just take this deck and I get my testing in at like a PQ, I don't really trust all the other kind of, testing and stuff. I want to just go into a main event. I'm going to just play the deck. I'm going to see what I'm going to play against. It's going to be wild the first PQs that we get into, and I'm going to see 10 like I'm going to be playing a whole different game.
Dude, you're gonna see like like 15 leaders. Like
it's going to
legitimately
be
like 15 plus leaders
to learn this.
Yeah,
there's going to be like 7 Jins, and then everything else is going to be 3 or less. I think like
everyone has been practicing lines and setups into every of the classic things you've heard for the past 2 years straight, and it's all getting rewritten.
Yeah.
You have to sit there and think about 1,000 new things. You talk and discuss 1,000 new things with people, and oh god, these events are going to be wild.
Yeah, like this is the first time, and so I've been playing like quite a bit of set 7, because I didn't really prep it all for the regional. But for the first time in a year, I'm finally playing decks that I like more than Data Vault decks, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a pretty fun format, I think. So I'm pretty excited. We'll have to see where it goes. The first event with this set will be the McClunky event, I believe, and then a few weeks after that is when
there's also going to be a invitation only in the UK.
Perfect.
The Nexus team is having
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's 24 people were invited, and there's like an event the day before, and the top 8 all gets put into the invite pool.
Yeah.
So
do you know
cool.
when that is?
I believe it's the 15th. It's like the weekend of release.
That's a week before the McClunky one then. So we'll have two events back to back to kind of showcase set 7 and kind of.
And that one is an invitational, so you'll see a lot of like very good players. Like I know Big O Notation. I think the Swoop Racers were invited. I don't know if they'll be going.
So I don't think that we'll like
our European side of BN is
necessarily like set the meta, but we'll get a pretty good idea of what people are kind of looking at. So
I don't think we're gonna set the meta until
no. Right.
We're going
right.
To,
I'm saying like
I'm saying specifically though, like we're gonna get into the first PQ. Someone's gonna win it. Like a couple different decks are gonna win. And typically when we go back and we've looked at PQ results in the show constantly, it's like, okay, here's some meta decks. Oh, look, this one fringe deck won a PQ. Wow.
No, like, it'll just be, you'll get like an idea of what people are kind of,
Wouldn't it be so cool if we had a Spectre that was happening like within 2 weeks of release?
That'd be cool. But for set 8, we'll get Galactics 2 weeks after the set, which is cool.
But, and we're gonna have to draft with that.
You say it's
that's
cool,
gonna
but that's
so much fun.
You say it's John. That's so stressful.
Who's ready to draft?
I can't wait.
I live with the stress, baby.
So let's spend the last like 10 minutes or so talking about just the set 7 majors and the PQ schedule that just dropped on stream today. Look, I'll start off with this with a really quick rant, super fast. Palm Springs.
What the fuck?
Is not it. Like, I've been to Palm Springs for a Bandai event. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. The venue is awful. The city is an old person city or a rich young kid city. There's nothing to do. Like, the airport isn't an airport. It's a landing strip. There's no terminal. It's a building the size of my house. Like, you land the plane, and you walk onto the runway and walk into the building. That's the airport. I'm not joking.
Walking on the runway is kind of fun, though.
Sure, it's a blast. Like there's no direct flights there. Anything east of the Mississippi, nothing. There's nothing, and it's like do better, guys. Just do better. Like, what's wrong with San Francisco? Like, a major airport. Like, I don't understand. So, like,
It had to
I
just be
I
too
will
expensive.
guarantee you
money.
it's Star
It's money.
City who gets to book it and choose
Yeah.
the area. FFG was probably like, hey, we have one in Atlanta, so this one needs to be on the West Coast.
yeah.
We haven't done California yet. We did what? Portland. Okay, let's
Yeah.
do California. Okay, choose somewhere SCG. All right, let's find the cheapest place that we
Yeah.
can run this
And
event.
I'm sure that's what it is. Look, like, I'm probably gonna go, like, because I can't do London because it's on Mother's Day weekend. So I'll probably get peer pressured and like end up going, to Palm Springs. It's going to cost me just as much to go to Palm Springs because it's a shitty ass small airport than it would for me to go to London Heathrow. Like, that is ridiculous. So it's like, I don't understand why you can't just pick a good venue. Like, they picked Atlanta. Maybe the venue sucks, but like, it's in Atlanta.
Portland was West Coast, and it still was like fine. Like we still, it was in a
I
fucking
don't.
hotel, and
I don't know.
everyone could
Like,
still make it. Everyone was fine going in it.
I just wanted to call them out on it. Like,
We're
that's
gonna keep
that.
calling out on it.
Yeah. So, CJ, are you going to any of these events? Are you, happy with them? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no Pumpkin Fest, so I'll be going. I'll be at Atlanta. I was really hoping, like, we had like heard rumors it's going to be East Coast, right? Like that's how it's kind of alternated. And I was really hoping for like North Carolina,
Something a little further north.
yeah, like Connecticut, Rhode Island. I was hoping somewhere where I didn't have to like really travel, but Atlanta's not the worst.
Yeah,
so
it's a Delta
Just had
hub.
Philly.
Like, flights are
Delta
always
hub.
cheap there
Philly's-
for most
Philly's-
people.
ugh, Philly's awful.
Yeah, I don't like Philly either.
North Carolina, I can get in my regional airport and go with all the golfers on the cheapest flight you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I'll be there and it'll cost me nothing and it'll be very easy.
Yeah,
But-
Atlanta's flights are still good too.
Well,
Yeah,
because
Atlanta's
it's a
fine.
Delta
It's a
hub, right?
hub.
So,
Yeah, it's a
so
Delta
any
hub.
Delta flight will be dirt cheap. So
Yeah,
that's fine.
I have no complaints about Atlanta. Palm Springs, I'm not doing that. Like,
Yeah.
hard pass, not interested. And then got some PQs, so it'll still be a good season for me. Excited.
Mickey, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I don't think I can make either major event this set. It's mostly for timing issues. Atlanta lines up on a very poor weekend for me. Otherwise, I'd be ecstatic to go to
Is it-
Atlanta.
Pumpkin Fest.
Gotta go to Pumpkin Fest, man. I gotta get them. It's a little early for Pumpkin Fest.
Yeah, May's a little early.
Start early prepping. But Atlanta's a great city. Been there twice now for both Seattle events, and it's like an awesome place to be.
Yeah.
It's easy to fly into. So none of that for me, unfortunately. I do have, I think I counted like 5 to 7 PQs within a range of me, depending on how far I'm willing to travel in one day.
Yeah.
Like I think there's 5 within 3.5, and then 7 or 8 within 5.5. So I'm gonna be trying to grind some PQs at the very least, support the team as well, getting them prepped for all
There's
the
always
major
some
events.
weird like distribution with PQs that happens every once in a while. Like, there are 0 Pittsburgh PQs this time, which is like super weird. There's one in Morgantown, which is cool. But like
the
I
one
just had
nice
none
part
around.
about being in Iowa,
Mhm.
the one nice part is like weirdly we got like 2 PQs a set. It sets 3 and 4, which I didn't expect. But then like we usually get one in Iowa, and then it's like a hub, so you can go 3 hours north to Minnie, 3 hours south to KC, 3 hours west to Omaha, 3 hours east to Illinois. So like you can hit at least one in every state pretty much, which is nice.
Ian, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I wish that there was a better way that they do the PQs, because like it just always upsets a group of people every single time.
Right.
I don't know what the solution is. Maybe it is just that like you'll have PQs in one of these sets that are going to be near you, and some of these other sets you're not. But that also kind of stinks. Yeah, I think that the Palm Springs stuff sucks, and I won't be going to that. I will be going to Atlanta because I can drive to that.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm probably a little bit taking it easy. I can't win Player of the Year. There's just 0 chance that I could. Mike is 505 points above me, and
Bro, that's 5 PQs.
I'm not. But I'm not. No, I think it would be actually silly if I went and did that. Like I could if I wanted to. I'm not going to. I could fly to like Europe and try to fight in these regionals and stuff, but at the same time, like Oh my god, now my camera's not working. At the same time, doing that would like be a crapshoot, right? Because you don't know if I'm at like I don't know if I'm gonna do well,
Yeah.
so it's just not worth the money at that point. And so I'm gonna take it easy. I'm gonna go to some PQs. I'm gonna probably just try to go to the Eternal PQs that are somewhat near me. There's
Yeah.
like Crookville, Tennessee, and then what is it?
Yeah, one in
Louisville,
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Louisville.
so I can from where I am, I can do like 3 hours to Crookville, play that one. Then after that one, drive 4 more hours to Louisville
Yeah.
for the next day and play that one, and then drive like 6 hours home or whatever. So I'm gonna try to do that because I really want to play Eternal, and I think that'll be fun.
Yeah,
I wish there was more
We'll see
Eternal
what they
PQs,
do. Well, they added more, so they changed some of the ones that were on there as limited or so to Eternal. Like my local one in Morgantown went from limited to Eternal. So you might want to just check the list again to be sure. Tyler, what are your thoughts on all this?
What the fuck, FG? What the fuck? I have gone to every single sector regional in the continental US. I've gone to every single one. I can't feasibly spend $500+ in an 8-hour flight to go to Palm Springs, California. I'm probably just going to save that money and save that time and just use it to go to Vegas early. And that's just going to be the play. But I'm so sad that I can't continue doing what I've been doing. For the past 2 years, I've gone to every single one. And it's been great. And I don't think I can make it to this one. It's just so remote. Like Mesa was a remote issue, but at least you could fly to the event. The flights weren't that expensive. You could go there. This one seems miserable.
I mean, even the people that live in California in our Discord today were like, "This sucks." Like it's like it's not like it's
a 2-hour drive. I looked it up to see if I could fly to LAX.
It's a retirement town, like small airport, rich people. Like it's just, I don't know. I can go on about it, but I'm not going to. But just do a better job with booking. Like just vet these towns, vet these places, vet that there's an airport. Like anyway, that's going to cover this week's episode. It would appear that Ian has crushed everyone.
Tyler almost won. He got second. You see that?
Tyler, second place. You almost had it, man.
Thank you, Jack.
So, Ian, what do you want to leave us with?
I want to shout out my second round opponent from Limited. I don't remember your name, but I will remember playing against you because you looked down at my playmat and you said, "Hey, is that real?" And I said, "Yes, it is." And he goes, no, don't worry. You can tell me and be honest. And I said, no, I promise that was me. I was the finalist at Galactics. And he was like, okay, buddy. And like just didn't believe me until everyone around him was like, yeah, that was him. And it was like one of the most memorable things that ever happened to me at a tournament before. It was really funny. We had a good laugh about it afterward. So shout out to you for making my day, even though that was my only win playing Limited that day. So
it's funny. I have a very similar story for Premier, my round 2 opponent. I was using my sector top 8 mat with the black 1/1, and I put it down, and my opponent's like, "I really hope you bought that from eBay." and John Morris was sitting next to me, and he just laughed. We're like, "No, bud." So yeah, that was fun. So, but anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Once again, I just want to say it again. Thank you so much for everyone who came up and said hi to us at the event. Really appreciate it. We do it for you guys. So keep watching.
So many people came up.
Keep commenting, and we'll keep doing it.
Is this the first episode since we hit 1,000 subscribers?
It is. Yes. Thank you for mentioning that.
Hey,
we'll have to do a giveaway here in like the next episode or two. Plus, we get our content.
Yeah, Todd is giving away his sector top 8 mat.
Yeah. Woo.
Legend of the Force boosters.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
See ya.